Hello guys, I'm Sergio Calvo, I'm here in Reaper Miniatures and I'm going to show you how I paint the non-metallic metals. I know, it's super fancy way, but I'm going to explain you super easy, step by step. So, to paint the non-metallic metal, we will use brown and a gray, and then I'm going to explain you why. Okay, I'm going to show you my way to paint. This is completely different, I know. I don't use glazes, I don't use water inside of my paints. So, for this video tutorial, you have to paint directly from the pot. Remember, you will use the paint from your pot, nothing else, super easy. Forget the dilutions, it's tough. So with this, will be easy. Keep your model, make the mix with this brown, a bit of gray, and you will have a perfect color for your non-metallic metal. Now it's the moment. Remember, you can use brushes like that, maybe bigger than your miniature. Super easy, you will cover very fast all the sword and will be ready to start to paint the layers. Remember, I said layers, don't glazes. Don't use glazes, you will waste a lot of time painting. And with these layers, with thick color, will be super fast and you will get an awesome result. So, first layer, right? We have the base coat done. Easy, right? Now you have to use your hair dryer if you want to paint faster, or just keep some minutes and paint the next layer. I'm going to add all my paints on this wet palette, okay, just to paint faster. Remember, I'm using this company, Reaper Paints, and it's my first time with them, and I have to test them. So remember, I don't know nothing about this color, so believe in the result. Okay, to paint this video tutorial, we are going to use this color, okay, for the next layers. Remember, with more light. If you see this color have green inside, it's like a gray with a bit of gray. And then you will have this with less color, more desaturated, more interesting to create a bright on our non-metallic metal. And now, to start, the idea is use a mix between this brown and this gray. This is our base coat. And now we need to have something with more light to create the next layers. Something easy, remember, you can use something like that, close to pure white, or use pure white, or, like I love it, use colors like that, with something inside. In that case, we will use green. Why is interesting? Because you have in your base coat red, and for your next layers, you will have green. So you will get an interesting complementary color and get an interesting contrast between the value of the light and the temperature of the color, and the complementary of the color. So something really interesting. Now, the mixes, super easy. This is our base coat, right? With the next layers is just add a bit of this all the time to get the next layers. Just that, easy. If you need more light, get a bit of this and add again inside of your mix. Nothing else. Super easy. How you have to paint the non-metallics? Remember, you have to create the reflection. It's easy, don't worry for the name. It's just paint one light here, all the sword, okay, with more contrast. If you see, or if you can't see the contrast, you need more light. So make a new mix and paint with more contrast. You have to see perfectly both edges. Okay, now you can see perfectly two edges, right? This one with less light and this one with more light. Now it's the perfect base coat to start to work. Why? Because you will have different shadows. Now it's just add more light all the time. Remember, you have to paint with a dry surface. If your surface is wet, you will remove the previous layer and you can cover with the next one. The idea is easy. Just move here the light. For example, another one here. Okay, and maybe here a bit more. And if you see, is just light, shadow, and then light. Something like that. In the other side, exactly the same, but with a bit less. You need to paint with less light, but in that case, if you have here the light, you should create the shadow there. So it's just create the same, but like that. Okay? With this, now start to look like as an metallic metal, right? But we need to blend this. Don't worry about that. Just paint with thick layers like that, and you will blend it at the end if you need it. Next step. Super easy. You get the same green or gray with green, and you add a bit of white. An off-white, ivory, something like that. You don't have to use pure white. Next layer, the same. If you painted here, you have to paint inside of this angle, inside of this area. Like that. Okay? And create reflections all the time. Okay. Next layer, the same. I'm going to paint just one side to explain you better. Again, you need to have more light here. Okay. And with this light, I recommend you always paint the edges, the edge highlights, always in the middle. Okay, and both edges, that side and the other side. So now we have something like that. What happened now? You should blend something, just a bit. You can do glazes or just make it a dilution between 50-50, water and paint, and will be okay. You don't have to use glazes. And paint like that. Like stippling, for example, and you will create an interesting gradient. Like that. Okay? Have you seen it? Now the other side. Exactly the same. You have to add light, but less light. For example, like this. It's okay. You don't have to add more. Then you need more light because you need to create a perfect non-metallic metal, right? So to create this perfect non-metallic metal, you need to add more and more light. How you get this light? On a sword with pure white or a color super close to the pure white. Like in that case, I'm going to use something like an off-white to create the next layer, but in that case, just on the top of the sword. Why? Because I want to have different midtones. If you paint all the lights around the sword, at the end you will have everything, you will have the same light on every part. So to fix that mistake, I recommend you just move this light only to the top. Okay, something like that. And now is the moment to create some brights. I like them with small dots like this. Okay, can you see how it changes just with these small dots? It's like a bright, super easy. Okay, so our sword more or less will be done. I recommend you now paint with pure white a bit more inside of this bright you painted. And redefine a bit better both edges. These two, and the other a bit more. Okay, now you have something like this. What happened with this? You should paint the hilt or add something else, because now it looks like you need to paint something else. But our sword, our non-metallic metal, will be done. If you want to blend, it's easy. Just paint with a dilution between 50-50, stippling, and you can create these gradients if you need them. Okay. If you think that you need more light, it's the same, exactly the same. Add more light and done. But for me, it's done. Because I would like to add different colors or paint something else, I'm going to paint the hilt to show you better the sword. Okay, when you want to paint a non-metallic metal but with different color, it's not gray, something like gold, for example, I recommend you use ochre color. You can use ochre with a bit of green or a bit of orange. Both will be okay, much better than use pure yellow. And then painting, be careful with the details, okay? Okay, you paint the details. Remember, I'm not using water. It's just paint from the pot, straight. I know, it's a weird way to paint, but you can get an awesome results. If you don't know nothing about me, you can find information on my social medias, and you will see a lot of projects painted on that way. Okay, I forgot paint the top of the sword, so I'm going to paint it now. Okay, so now better, but because I want something else with more light, I'm going to use something close to yellow. Okay. So we will have done our sword super fast, easy, and just painting with 3 layers, 4 layers, nothing else. So you don't have excuses now to don't paint your fancy non-metallic metals. So, if you have enjoyed watching this video tutorial, remember, you can follow me on my social medias, and my name is Sergio Calvo Miniatures. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, or if you want to continue learning with these easy tricks, you can join to my Patreon, Sergio Calvo Miniatures, and will be really awesome. So, I hope see you soon, and enjoy with these video tutorials. See you soon!